You know, at a time when kids are playing video games and watching Fortnite and things of that sort, I got a guy that will get your kids out in the fresh air and they'll have a ton of fun. Come along with us. Hey Pat, how's it going?
It's going good, Scott. How are you?
Really good to see you.
Good to see you.
I know you're known as Pappy around these parts. That's what I hear. Is that right?
That's what it is, and I think you're Papa,
I
correct?
think so. Well, I don't know too many Pappies that built something like you built here, and I gotta say I'm envious of you because if I were to build something like we're going to talk about here in just a second, it would be leaning like the Eiffel Tower. I'm telling you. Tell me about what you built here.
Well, it's just kind of something, you know, we build a lot of transformer banks and regulator banks at work too, so, you know, it's kind of just something I'd kind of done all my life in a way.
Yeah.
But never for a zip line before. But
So you actually went from being a lineman, many years of being a lineman, to being a zip lineman, it sounds like.
yeah, you could say that. About
Well,
40 years as a lineman.
Yeah, now when I look at this thing is amazing. How tall is that, Pat?
It's, the platform is about 15 feet. So.
Okay. And
So,
and it's going to expand how far down for when somebody gets on it? How far are they going to ride the zip line?
about 300 feet or so.
Okay.
About 300.
Well, take me around. I want to ask you a few questions as far as like material and things like that. When you start a project, there's got to be a lot of planning goes into that.
Yeah, there is. You're starting with nothing and really don't know where to go with it. But anyway, it takes, you know, there's 24 by 4 by 6s, you know, and an awful lot of treated lumber. And you got to get, you got to figure out what you're going to hit on the way down and trying to move it in between all these trees and keep it enough height off of the ground so you don't drag your butt down through there.
No dragging butts. We don't want
We
that.
don't want to drag any butts down through
So
there.
you were a lineman for how many years?
40 years.
And who
about
were you
40
with?
years. Worked construction the first 15 years and went with Wind Energy for the last 25 years.
Okay. So if I was to think how many poles you climbed over 40 years, it sounds like, what are we talking?
Oh my goodness. Well, in the beginning, the first 10 years, there weren't too many bucket trucks, but then they started getting away from climbing. But you know, probably thousands, I'm sure. You know, in that length of time.
Well, folks like me, you're working in all kinds of conditions. The lights go out. I'm saying, I hope the linemen are out there. Tell me some stories about that.
Oh my goodness, that could go on forever, Scott. Calls and at 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, just never ends. You go home and get in bed, and then you get another phone call. Back out you go. You know, somebody's still off. Clear down at New Harmony. You know, when you get up and you drive an hour and you go down and get them on, and it could have been something like they could have flipped the switch themselves, but then they didn't know how to do it. So.
Well, when my lights come on, I was going to applaud, and I'll tell you that. I know you guys, the work you guys do is amazing. But let's talk about this. Why did you build this? I know this is a labor of love for your grandkids. Tell me about that.
Well, it kind of started out as a joke, in a way, because Matt, my son, after he moved in there and built his house, you know, he said, "Man, we need a zip line down through there." And I got to thinking about it before I said yes.
Easy
a
for
little
him to
bit.
say, yeah.
I thought, well, I think we could probably do that, you know. And that's basically how it came about. And maybe a year later, I got started on it.
Well, what's some of the your grandkids, nowadays these kids are on social media all the time. How's that play into this? Does that?
It's great. You know, they get out here and they can get off the couch and do what we did as we grew up, you know, without having electronics. Not that electronics is, you know, not great, but, you know, it's time to get outside a little bit
Yes,
too
yeah.
and do some things. So,
Well, let's take a look at the steps here. And you have any idea how many steps that you built here?
boy, I don't know without counting them, Scott, how many there are.
A lot.
They're about, I made them small because I didn't want a lot of, I didn't want the kids falling down here, so.
It looks like you've got
Yeah.
it really child-proof. Safety is a big part of it. The last thing you want is an accident or something like this.
Yeah, we don't want anything like that to happen. I couldn't really live with myself if that was to happen, so.
Yeah. Well, and how long did it take you to build it, Pat?
Oh, you know, I didn't stay at it full time, but you know, it probably took a couple weeks to get it all done if you added all the time up together. And
It probably makes for a pretty popular neighborhood when you got something like this. Other kids come around playing on it as well.
yeah, kids like to play on it. That's for sure.
All right. Well, I tell you what. I want to get harnessed up. I'm gonna go down it. Can a big guy like me go down that? Or
Oh, absolutely, sure.
Okay. Once you get me harnessed up, I'm ready to go. And let's get me up there.
Okay, we can do it.
All right. Welcome to the clouds.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. See for miles out here. Are you the starter?
I'm gonna take care of you.
Okay, my life, it depends on you here. So give me the banked in here.
You can trust me.
Okay. Starting to feel a little fear here as I get did you go up one more? Okay, I've kind of decided I don't know if I want to do this or not.
Oh, come on now.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, but just not now. We'll see if I do it later.
I bet you $5 that he's gonna scream.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna do it without screaming or hollering or crying. Okay. Here we go. Ready?
You ready?
Yep.
Set. Go.
I'll be back before Aglac. Right after this. Oh my God.